Welcome to the healing power of music. This episode is about how music transforms health, mobility, and identity as we grow older. Thinking about aging is being challenged. Contrary to prevailing social narratives, older years are not simply a period of decline. Instead, aging represents a phase where the self continues to expand, finds new meaning, and remains vitally engaged with the world. At the heart of this new understanding sits music, writing, and the arts. Powerful catalysts for preserving personhood, enhancing brain health, and fostering the deep human connections that make life worth living every age. Social and personal stories of later life do not have to be stories of loss and diminishment. There's something far more powerful and compelling we should focus on. Lars Tornstam, a renowned social gerontologist, described a natural process that he called transcendence, a shift that happens as people age, moving away from a materialistic, self-focused view of the world toward something deeper and more cosmic. Tornstam articulated three significant steps in this transformation. First, he called social transcendence. As we grow older, we choose fewer but more meaningful relationships, prioritizing depth over breadth of connection. Next step is ego transcendence. As we age, we move past self-centeredness. We reinterpret life events, find a sense of closure, of wholeness. And third, the highest step, Tornstam called cosmic transcendence. Meta-awareness of the continuum of life, embracing our spiritual selves and finding peace with mortality. For many people, music is the primary catalyst for this shift, helping us navigate the age-old conflict between accepting our life as a meaningful whole, the sense that our life has been a long series of missed opportunities. Music provides the soundtrack. We review our lives uncritically, write our own unique narratives of wisdom and belonging and acceptance. We listen to music, or especially if we play an instrument or sing, something remarkable happens inside the brain. The experience of music is a full brain workout that impacts four key regions. Prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and executive function, benefits directly from the experience of music. Even learning to play a simple melody on an instrument improves attention, focus, and problem-solving speed. Motor cortex, which governs movement and coordination, responds to rhythmic beats. Processing those rhythms translates directly into improved balance and steadier walking patterns. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, is dramatically influenced by the experience of music. Listening to and performing music consistently reduces anxiety and emotional distress, providing a definite calming effect. And perhaps most powerfully, the hippocampus, the seat of memory and learning. Neuroscience has shown that the regions of the brain that store musical memories are often the last to be affected by diseases like Alzheimer's. Music stimulates memory pathways that remain intact long after other routes have been blocked. The experience of music produces distinct physiological changes within the body. Think of it as a biochemical balancing act. On one side, music lowers cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. When cortisol drops, results are very specific. Resting blood pressure decreases, heart rate stabilizes, and the overall sleep quality improves. On the other side, music raises dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. Dopamine increases, people experience genuine feelings of reward and joy, greater motivation for physical activity, a lifted overall mood, reduced agitation. These are important benefits for individuals of any age, no matter what their state of health might be. For older adults managing chronic conditions, the experience of music is a meaningful, safe, and accessible way to maintain a positive attitude, a deep sense of well-being. Here is a fundamental truth about the human body. We are evolutionarily designed to respond to rhythm. Even before an infant takes their first steps, they respond to rhythm. They move to a beat. That instinct never leaves us. As we grow older, it can be put to powerful therapeutic use. Walking at a steady rhythmic tempo produces more deliberate movement and reduces the risk of falling or stumbling. This is a critical safety concern for some older individuals. Upbeat tempos and intriguing rhythms translate into movement, resulting in improved cardiovascular circulation and better heart health. Simple instruments like maracas or hand drums, when played regularly, maintain fine motor control and coordination, even for those with limited mobility. When an individual experiences their preferred, personally meaningful music, research tells us that they also experience a reduced perception of physical pain. Individuals recovering from a stroke or living with Parkinson's disease, rhythmic cues can help the brain actively relearn movement coordination. The experience of music strikes deeply the human condition. Familiar music unlocks parts of the brain that words alone cannot reach. This is one of the most clinically significant findings in the study of music and aging. Songs carry intense emotional weight. Studies show that our experience of music between ages 15 and 25 are exceptionally powerful. Emotional anchoring is precisely what makes music so powerful for memory care. Listening to the music of our lives benefits us in three principal ways. First, autobiographical recall. Songs from a person's youth serve as a direct bridge to specific life events and identity. When a person struggles to recognize a family member, can still sing every word of a favorite song. This is autobiographical recall in action. Second, verbal fluency. Singing improves speech patterns and the ability to find words, a critical benefit preventing or treating cognitive decline. And behavioral stability. Personalized set lists tailored to an individual's unique history reduce anxiety and may decrease the need for mood-stabilizing medications. This is remarkably powerful for dementia patients. And the clinical evidence for active music making is equally compelling. With just 16 weeks of piano lessons, older individuals demonstrate noticeably improved thinking speed and working memory. Loneliness is a serious health risk facing older adults today. Isolation leads to depression and a sense of alienation, both all too frequent in older adults. Music is a complex, nonverbal language that stimulates connection with the world, even when words fail. Shared musical experience brings people together in community. Community activities like drum circles or choirs and open mics foster a genuine sense of belonging. Evidence is clear. Shared musical performance consistently lowers clinical depression. The fact is not trivial, it's measurable and significant. Programs that bring seniors and youth together to make music are especially powerful. Perhaps most importantly, music creates a safe space to express difficult emotions, grief, fear, and loss, without needing to find the right words. Music speaks where ordinary language cannot. For those in their older years, the concept of agency takes on a very particular meaning. Agency is the capacity of an individual to act independently, make free choices, and take action on their own behalf. This strikes at something deep in a person's mental and emotional well-being called Narrative sovereignty. Narrative sovereignty is the right to remain the lead character in one's own life, rather than driven off stage, patronized as frail or dependent. The experience of music is uniquely positioned to nurture that sovereignty. When a person sings and performs specific songs, making an active statement about their identity, their values, and their cultural background. The act of choosing, however small it may seem, is an assertion of self. Sharing musical wisdom with their community becomes an equitable exchange. The individual expresses their voice and agency in a community, restoring a sense of dignity and reciprocity. Celebrating and sharing their personal musical preferences is, in the words of researchers, a small act of subversion, a way to push back against being seen only through the lens of narrow social norms or discriminatory attitudes. It's a way to become visible once again. Yes, the experience of music can do all that. Music allows people to present a version of their life that is complex and emotional and fully human, not a diminished summary, but a complete story. Research confirms that transcendent older people actively rewrite their personal narrative to negotiate, resist, and challenge the world around them. Music provides one powerful path to do it. Bringing the experience of music into your life does not require a lot of infrastructure. It does not have to be expensive. How you approach music does matter. Let's look at two fundamentally different experiences of music. Passive listening occurs when an individual listens to music without actively producing it by physically engaging with an instrument or by singing. Listening to music activates a broad network of brain regions, auditory processing centers, centers of emotion, and the biochemical reward system previously discussed. Listening to music can elevate mood, reduce anxiety, and temporarily improve thinking by lowering stress hormones and triggering the release of dopamine. A familiar song can stimulate deeply embedded autobiographical memories that might otherwise remain inaccessible. Blood flow of the hippocampus is increased, memory networks are engaged. But passive listening lacks a sustained multimodal challenge to the brain. Passive listening alone is insufficient to nurture the growth of new brain tissue, permanently alter the physiology of the brain. Passive listening provides temporary benefits rather than long-term. Active musical performance involves the physical manipulation of an instrument or singing to produce sound. This requires the continuous integration of visual input, motor output, auditory feedback, and cognitive monitoring. Active playing requires multiple regions of the brain to work in synchronized coordination and places a substantial processing demand on the brain. Hippocampus must continuously encode the physical movements, the structure of the musical piece, and the emotional expression required for the performance. Active performance stimulates neurotrophic factors, a group of natural proteins that help nerve cells grow, stay alive, and fix themselves. This multisensory feedback loop is the primary driver of robust and beneficial changes in brain structure and chemistry. We end where we began. The fundamental reframing of what aging can mean and the role music can play, creating that meaning. Appreciation and performance of music, when understood fully, is more than entertainment. It's an evidence-based journey for a meaningful life. Mind, music preserves cognitive pathways, anchors autobiographical memory, maintains the executive function that keeps a person engaged and self-directed. The body, music regulates stress chemistry, improves cardiovascular health, reduces pain, and stabilizes the mobility that supports independence. Or identity. Experience of music nourishes narrative sovereignty. It combats isolation, builds community, and ensures that the individual remains the author of their own story, that they do not become a bit player in a story written into the norms of society. Where all three circles overlap lies holistic well-being. Getting older is not just about adding years to life. It's about adding life to years through the proven, resonant, deeply human power of shared song. The experience of music, a gentle, supportive community, is transformative. It's never too soon to start. An Influence Music Hall open mic is a great place to get it done.